begin to wonder, who is Governor Akeredolu referring to? He said, don't vote for a dubious candidate, any dubious candidate or dubious character. Don't vote dubious character as next president. Akeredolu wants Nigerians, and that's why I'm asking, who is he referring to? Well, we know that we have three. We just managed to put the fourth one, Kwakwanso, the three leading presidential candidates. Okay, you can manage here to put Kwakwanso because it's more popular than the other 14, because we have 18 of them that will be running this period. Well, Governor Rotimi Akeredolu has asked Nigerians not to vote for any candidate with a dubious character in the 2023 presidential election. The Ondo governor urged the electorate to dig into the antecedents of the prominent presidential candidate jostling to rule the country. Anyone who exhibits any shred of doubt should be rejected roundly, Mr. Akeredolu said on Friday at a dinner in Ibadan, Oyo State. He added, the antecedents of prominent candidates in the forthcoming presidential elections and even all elections should be evidence of capacity. The manifesto belongs largely to the party. All those who do not wish to be ruled by persons of dubious character should endeavor to be active in the days ahead. Mr. Akeredolu, who doubles as chairman of the Southern Governors Forum, is a supporter of Bola Tinubu, the presidential candidate of his party, the All Progressives Congress (APC). Mr. Tinubu, a former Lagos governor, had been immersed in corruption allegation with dubious proceeds, just as speculations continue to trail his alleged age falsification. Being a political ally, Mr. Akeredolu was appointed on September as the zonal coordinator of the Tinubu-Shettima Presidential Campaign Council in the Southwest. In November 2020, People's Gazette ran a series of damning reports on Mr. Tinubu's corruption enrichment through the questionable Lagos tax infrastructure and Alpha Beta, siphoning billions of naira to share companies. The Gazette had also published bank documents that showed how Alpha Beta moved the questionable funds it received from the Lagos state government into other companies linked to the APC presidential candidates, including broadcaster TVC and Lagos Metro bus providers. Speaking further, Mr. Akeredolu charged Nigerians to use their permanent voters card to vote for the candidates of their choice in the 2023 election. He said the people must also actively participate in the electioneering process by ensuring that the right candidates emerged. He said, let all those with their PVC vote for candidates of their choice. All candidates should be put to the strictest proof of their claims. Of course, I expected him to be saying you have to vote for Tinubu, but he said people should vote for candidates of their choice, and that is to tell you that that statement from the beginning, that you have to scrutinize all the characters and the antecedents of all these presidential candidates. Anybody that has a dubious character, you should not vote for that person. That is one thing about these people. They know the truth. But let me just tell you something. Just like I've been using Governor of Edo State, Obaseki, as an example. While he was in APC, some of the people who were accused of corruption or whatever, he never said anything. But as soon as he left that party, he began to say it. And that is exactly what majority of them stands for. Where you see people who are defending in rubbish, nonsense, defending corruption, defending impunity, don't take their words because they know the truth. As soon as they leave that party, they'll begin to say the truth. So don't just listen to them. If you know and you are sure of what you know, don't let them convince you, because you know that they know what they are doing just because they want to be party loyalists. Well, as he said that all those with PVC should use their PVC judiciously, he said we must do more than criticism in the next elections or be ready to be ruled by those with no enviable pedigree. Okay, who does not have enviable pedigree? Even as bad as Atiku, people think Atiku is. I don't think his own this thing, his own baggages are even of that is up to that of Tinubu. Well, we must participate or be damned, Mr. Akeredolu added. Noting that some of the candidates were playing the religious and ethnic cards, the governor stated that competence and integrity should be the character or criteria for representation. He stressed that the recent debate on representation on account of faith was unnecessary. In the same vein, we must be wary of the antics and cunning and deceitful who may wish to exploit the challenges to advance their destructive designs, he added. Mr. Akeredolu said that inasmuch as we encourage full participation of Christians in politics, our involvement must not be used to create disaffection among the various ethnic and religious groups in the country. We must resist the attempt by some elements to use religion to perpetuate the crisis. The recent debate on representation on account of faith is most unnecessary. Competence and integrity should be criteria for representation. I think you are trying to contradict yourself, but I expected him to have come out boldly to say, you know what, just go for Tinubu. He has what it takes. Since you are campaigning for him and you have been given kind of appointments. Well, he that has ear, let him hear what the spirit is saying. Of course, he has said what Nigerians are really expected of him to say. It is not left for you to decide. Like I said, who is he referring to? Because all he has said is just pointing towards Tinubu. If you look at all the presidential candidates, the person who has the most baggages is Tinubu. There's no guest saying, or you don't need a soothsayer to tell you that I will never vote someone that will send bullion van of money to every state for election, and after he won the election, masses will now suffer for the tax. That is dubious. We should not vote a dubious character as president, and you are supporting Tinubu. May God forgive all of you who want us to continue in this affliction. God forbid bad thing. Dubious Atiku and Tinubu Abi, they must be rejected at the polls, otherwise Nigeria will die. So it is such a pity that some lonely guns are still rooting for the perfidious duo. Great advice will move Obidati. That is why majority are for Obidati. Thank you, sir. That is why we are not even voting for Tifnubu and Atiku. Peter Obi is our man. If this is coming from a honest heart, then you have to withdraw from Tinubu's campaign. Yeah, especially which one is this one? Now you may. Well, just like Tinubu, thank for setting it straight without bending it. He's referring to Tinubu and Atiku, vote wisely. Thank God you already know that he is dubious. We are voting Peter Obi based on his track records. Okay, we have heard you. Thanks for the advice. We will first start with the bullion van man, the sole Lagos State landlord. The sole Lagos State landlord. Ashiwaju and Atiku have dubious characters. I support Papanso. I also wish he can collapse his structure and support Obi for equity. That is APC and PDP. They are dubious character. Divide Nigeria now because the country has expired since 2014. Nothing else. Who do you suggest, Mr. Governor, goes? Who do you suggest, Mr. Governor, go straight to the point? Of course, everybody knows. You see, meaning we should not vote at all because they have all dubious character. Maybe you are right, but you have to check them at the scale of preference, or who is lesser. Who is not dubious among the three front lines? Ah, don't say that now. What are you saying? You begin to outline them. Okay, Tinubu, of course. If you have three of them as candidates for a job in your company, who will you recruit? Tinubu is the most dubious, Atiku is the next dubious, then the rest ones can follow. If that's what you think, this should be Tinubu is referring to. Don't worry another Buhari into office, or don't vote another Buhari into office. We won't even vote for Mr. Forsyth, and Forsyth but could not bring the square home. Hallelujah, Rotimi Akeredolu is now fully obedient. Oh my goodness. So guys, let's hear your opinion and have your take on this.